Sawadika, good evening and welcome to Thai PBS World Tonight. We hope you have had a great weekend, especially quite exciting day yesterday with the election day. And now you're back to work and have a productive one.
Exactly. And of course, we will be starting the program tonight with everything you need to know about the Bangkok governor elections last night. And obviously, it has produced a clear winner, and that is no other than Chadchart Sittipan, who is a former transport minister and an independent candidate, and he actually won with over 50% of the votes.
ถ้าผมมีโอกาสได้เป็นผู้ว่านะถ้าเกิดกกต.รับรองเป็นทางการผมก็พร้อมจะเป็นผู้ว่าของทุกคนนะไม่ว่าพวกเราท่านไหนจะเลือกผมหรือไม่เลือกผมนะครับผมก็ต้องรับใช้ทุกคนเหมือนกันเพราะว่าผมถือว่าเราได้เป็นตัวแทนของคนกรุงเทพฉะนั้นผมว่าอนาคตต่อไปเนี่ยผมว่าเรามาเดินร่วมกันนะเราเห็นต่างกันได้แต่เราอย่าเกลียดกันเราอย่าทะเลาะกันสมมติเลือกตั้งเนี่ยเมื่อคือระบอบประชาธิปไตยเราผ่านจุดนั้นไปแล้วถ้าเกิดคนไหนได้สิทธิ์มาดูแลพี่น้องประชาชนก็ต้องดูแลทุกคนอย่างเท่าเทียมกันกรุงเทพเป็นมหานครที่เต็มไปด้วยความหวังมีความสวยงามมีสิ่งที่มีคุณค่ามากมายแต่ที่ผ่านมามันคงมีเหตุการณ์หลายๆเรื่องที่มันทำให้เพชรเม็ดนี้ไม่ได้รับการเจรไนอย่างเต็มที่
So according to the results, the independent candidate Chadchart Sittipan won the Bangkok gubernatorial election by landslide last night with a record total of 1.38 million votes. In fact, Chadchart maintained a significant lead throughout the evening. While for the other candidates, Democrat Party candidate Suchachawi Suwansawat finished second with 254,000 votes, followed by Move Forward Party candidate Withdrawn with over 253,000 votes. Independent candidate Sakonti Pattaya came in fourth with 230,000 votes, and then former Governor Aswin Kwanmueang with 214,000 votes. With it being all but impossible for him to catch up with Chadchart, Suchachawi conceded defeat and thanked everyone who voted for him. He also mentioned that he called Chadchart to congratulate him and to say that he is willing to help if he can. And as for the policy, Suchachawi said that he wants the new Bangkok governor to fix the flooding issue and consider the free Wi-Fi policy.
แน่นอนที่สุดก็คือเรื่องน้ำท่วมนะครับเรื่องน้ำท่วมเป็นเรื่องอะไรที่สำคัญนะครับอยากจะฝากถึงผู้ว่าคนใหม่ไว้ว่าต้องมีวิธีคิดแบบใหม่ไม่เช่นนั้นแล้วกรุงเทพก็จะจมน้ำท่วมซ้ำซากนอกจากนั้นแล้วนโยบายอินเทอร์เน็ตฟรีถือว่าจะเป็นจุดเปลี่ยนของกรุงเทพจริงๆนะครับก็อยากจะสนับสนุนให้พี่ชัดชาติได้ไปทำนะครับ
And similarly, Withdrawn said that he did his best throughout the campaign and he has no regrets. He also said that the Bangkok councillors from the Move Forward Party are willing to work with Chadchart to improve people's lives.
สก.ก้าวไกลของเรานะครับก็ยินดีที่จะทำงานร่วมมือกับอาจารย์ชัดชาติในการยกระดับสภากรุงเทพมหานครอย่างเต็มที่นะครับซึ่ง12นโยบายเพื่อสร้างเมืองที่คนเท่ากันนะครับก็ล้วนเป็นประโยชน์กับพี่น้องประชาชนชาวกรุงเทพมหานครทั้งสิ้นนะครับซึ่งหลังจากนี้ก็คงจะมีการหารือกันระหว่างสก.ของก้าวไกลนะครับแล้วก็อาจารย์ชัดชาตินะครับหรือจะเรียกจริงคนเรียกว่าผู้ว่าชัดชาติดีกว่านะครับกับทางผู้ว่าชัดชาตินะครับอย่างใกล้ชิดกันต่อไปนะครับว่าจะหารือแนวทางในการทำงานเพื่อเป็นประโยชน์กับประชาชนอย่างไรนะครับ
And back to our winner, Chadchart began his first day as Bangkok governor-elect by jogging with his team in Lumpini Park at dawn this morning. He revealed that he usually runs 10 kilometers around the park each day, saying that is part of his daily routine, and it is that which inspired him to run for governor of Bangkok in the first place, and aiming to improve the city after he made new friends and exchanged views with the people in the park. Chadchart also said that he's ready to start work as a new governor by taking a look at the existing problems in each area. Asked whether flooding will be the first thing he will fix, Chadchart responded that even though flooding is a huge problem for Bangkok, well, for any other cities in Thailand for that matter, we must not forget other issues as well, such as pedestrian crossings and road safety. And later in the afternoon of today, Chadchart along with Wirod Lakana-Adison, who's actually ranked number 3 according to Khon Kaen now from Move Forward Party. They actually went together to inspect Klong Lat Prao and talk to residents there to find out ways to solve the flooding in the area, where he said that flooding is an urgent issue that needs to be fixed.
Well, it is really nice to see that Chadchart and Wirod are actually working together to fix the flooding issues. But speaking of the elections last night, we can see a big landslide win for Chadchart. And we can sort of feel that many people were happy about it because with Chadchart, he seems to be like a hero for many of the voters, especially the youngsters.
Right. You know, we've presented before, we talked before about, you know, the memes, the so-called slogan, right?
Yep.
The strongest minister?
Yeah, the strongest minister on Earth.
On the planet Earth. Wow. We'll have to see about that. He does seem really physically fit. And some may say, you know, not everything just happens in Bangkok. There are some other important issues outside of the capital. And yesterday was also the day for elections in Pattaya, just about 2 hours away from Bangkok. That was for the mayor and also the council, city council as well. So the unofficial results of the Pattaya mayor and council elections yesterday, which was the first such election in a decade, have been withdrawn pending an investigation into the mysterious absence of 2 ballot sheets and 1 case of a ballot sheet being issued to a person who is ineligible to vote. The late-night decision to withdraw the results by the permanent secretary of Pattaya City and director of the Pattaya mayor and council elections came a few hours after he had announced the results at City Hall, in which Paramet Ngampichet of the We Love Pattaya team apparently won the mayoral election. It had been discovered, though, also that a ballot sheet for the mayoral election was missing in polling in station in constituency 1 and then constituency 4, rendering it impossible to announce formally the unofficial results of the election. And also at either polling station 29 in constituency 2 or at polling station 5 and the constituency 3, a ballot sheet for the council election was mistakenly issued to an ineligible voter. The Pattaya electoral body will consult the Election Commission in Bangkok about how to deal with the problem, with the possibility of a fresh election needing to be held at the 2 polling stations where the ballot sheets went missing. And just to give you an idea of what was going on, besides certain irregularities being reported, these elections are actually a contest between 2 political groups in Pattaya. So the first group is We Love Pattaya, which is affiliated with the influential Khun Bloom family, which has been dominating local politics in Chonburi province for many years, and also Pattaya Ruam Jai group. So things don't seem to go as smoothly in Pattaya as in Bangkok. So we'll have to wait and see because with the unofficial results, we seem to already have a winner for the mayor at least. But of course, this still has to pen some investigations.
Right, and apart from the Bangkok elections, the Pattaya elections, yesterday there was also a big event as well because it was also the 8th year anniversary of a military coup which overthrew the government of Yingluck. And yesterday, many registered followers held protests yesterday to oppose coups and to condemn the current Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha. Red Shirt followers in the northeastern Thai province of Khon Kaen joined various anti-coup groups in a protest march yesterday to oppose coups and to condemn the government of Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha for its alleged failures in all aspects of national administration, from the fight against corruption and human rights violations to political reform. The protest march coincided with the anniversary of a coup staged by the Thai military and led by then Army Chief General Prayut to topple the government of then Prime Minister Yingluck 8 years ago on May 22, 2014. Anti-coup activities were held near the province's Democracy Monument amid police presence, with a warning for them to comply with the law regarding public gatherings. The demonstrators read a prepared joint statement condemning the coup staged by the military, officially known as the National Council for Peace and Order, or the NCPO, led by General Prayut. In the statement, the groups alleged that the government of Prime Minister Prayut had failed in its handling of the COVID-19 pandemic, failed to procure COVID-19 vaccines fast enough to control the spread of the disease, and failed to address political reconciliation and social problems.
And a leader of the Red Shirt group in the province said that 8 years after the coup, the Red Shirts are still opposed to it, of course, despite many of them having aged since. He said the anti-coup rally was intended to pass the political spirit of the older generation on to the younger, so they can learn from their experience and come forward to fight for democracy. That's quite interesting because, as we mentioned before in our special program for the election yesterday, it was probably a coincidence, but it was also quite an ironic coincidence to have, a democratic election on the anniversary of a coup. But of course, at least no other coups yet, and that we have a democratic election. So it seems to be some sort of progress. Indeed.
Exactly, because yesterday is actually clear that people want to see big changes, and it is nice to see that there is still some democracy, especially with yesterday's elections.
Right. And from a rally yesterday, moving on to another rally starting today in Bangkok. So a group of people rallied in front of the United Nations office on Rashidamnern Road in Bangkok this morning to protest against a draft law which seeks to control and restrict the activities of non-profit and non-governmental organizations, or NGOs, in Thailand. The protesters arrived at the Makhawan Rangsan Bridge in front of the UN office as early as 6 a.m. with the intention to hold their rally on the traffic island in protest against the allegedly draconian new law drafted by the Council of State. The protesters see the law as an attempt to limit people's participatory rights and liberties in violation of the Constitution and International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. There's a woman that I actually had a chance to talk to, Nuchanat Tantong from the Four Regions Slum Network, who said that the law is a violation of human rights and should not be used in Thailand, adding that the penalty is too high as their people are mostly poor. And she explained that the law is scheduled to be submitted to the cabinet again next Tuesday. So they plan to continue their protest to put pressure on the government not to pass the law, and that can be as long as 10 days, according to her. The law requires non-profit NGOs to register with the Provincial Administration Department of the Interior Ministry for permission to operate in Thailand to prevent them from engaging in activities deemed to be a threat to national security or good public morals, and to ensure they refrain from activities which may cause disunity in the country. They are also required to disclose their sources of funding and spending for the sake of transparency. Just to give you some of the background, the draft bill was endorsed by the Thai cabinet back in January of this year and has since sparked protests from several Thai and international NGOs and even human rights organizations, and political parties such as Move Forward Party also join in this effort. And this protest, you may wonder why they are actually gathering in front of the UN. Actually, of course, a lot of rallies happen there, but this also coincides with the 78th session of the Economic and Social Commission for Asia and the Pacific. And speaking of this conference, I also had a chance for quite an honor for an exclusive interview with the President of the United Nations General Assembly on that, actually not particularly on the protest, but actually on the grander scale of things as well, and including the role of the civil sector and the ones who are protesting right now today. So do stay tuned for that.
Right, and even though the COVID-19 situation in Thailand has sort of stabilized, but there is another disease that many countries, including Thailand, are keeping a close eye on, which is the monkeypox infections. Even though it is a rare disease, but it has already been spreading to 15 countries around the world. And Thailand's Disease Control Department has set up an emergency operations center to keep a close watch on the monkeypox situation. The department's Director General, Dr. Khon Kaen, said yesterday that although monkeypox has not been detected in Thailand yet, there is a risk of the disease spreading from people arriving from countries where monkeypox infections have been detected, as Thailand has eased travel restrictions to allow more overseas arrivals. He also said that the Emergency Operations Center will monitor the monkeypox situation globally, will assess the potential situation in Thailand, and will formulate both medium and long-term precautionary measures. Dr. Khon said that more than 100 cases have already been detected in 15 countries, which include the UK, Spain, Portugal, Italy, Belgium, France, Germany, Sweden, the United States, Canada, Australia, Israel, the Netherlands, Switzerland, and Greece. And according to the WHO, about 50 cases in 11 countries, which are not the source of the outbreak of monkeypox, are now being investigated, with a forecast that more cases are expected to be found in more countries. And according to information from the Disease Control Department, there have been 13,000 arrivals from the UK, 1,300 from Spain, and 268 from Portugal so far this month. And so far, travel advisories have been issued for Thais who want to travel to these countries. These include avoidance of contact with rodents, squirrels, and primates. And after their return from these countries, they should monitor their condition. And if they do develop blisters on their face, hands, or legs, they should see a doctor immediately. And apart from this, avoidance of contact with droplets from these animals or from people suspected to be infected is very important. And another part is the consumption of only properly cooked meat would be the best protection as well.
And, from what we have learned, 2 years ago, more than 2 years ago, is that we need to prevent it as much as we can, rather than be, sorry or too relaxed about it at first and then sorry later.
Exactly.
Do share with us what you think in the comment section. And with that, we wraps up this edition of Thai PBS World Tonight. Do catch us like this every weekday at 7 p.m. right here on YouTube and Facebook Live.
And don't forget to follow us on social media, including our website, thaipbsworld.com, for all the latest updates as well as analyses. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะ